My dear brothers and sisters and my dear friends, today I am going to talk you about the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi, my experiment with truth. So now I want to make you clear between the difference between autobiography and biography. What is an autobiography? Autobiography is a book which deals with the life history of a person written by that person himself, herself. And biography is the life history of a person written by some another person. And now I am going to talk you about the autobiography of a great person, Mahatma Gandhi. And the name of this autobiography is My Experiment with Truth. Mahatma Gandhi was such a great personality which need not in any introduction. Yet I want to tell you something in a nutshell, in a short. Mahatma Gandhi was born on 2nd October 1869 in a small town in Porbandar in Gujarat. He was really a great man. He was a social reformer, an educationist, a freedom fighter, a social reformer, a spiritual teacher, and above all, he was Mahatma. Mahatma means a great soul. And really, he was a great soul because he did work on all platforms at the same time. A great scientist of our era, Einstein, has really told about him that generation to come will hardly believe that such a man in blood and flesh used to walk on this earth. And really he was such a personality. And he was also called Naked Fakir by Winston Churchill when he went to meet with Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Now I am going to tell you about my experiment with truth. My experiment with truth deals with the theme how an ordinary person became a great person. How the personality of an ordinary man was shaped into a great personality. This book deals with the lifetime of Mahatma Gandhi from his childhood to 1921, and this book was published in 1927. This book is a really great lesson for all mankind. Many persons of the world have learned lesson from his life and from his teachings and became a great person, such as King Martin Luther and the President of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Now I am going to talk you about my experiment with truth. This which is the great biography, one of the best biography of the world, you can say. And this book is must for everyone, or particularly every Indians who can learn a great lesson, because Mahatma Gandhi was not an ordinary person. In this book has dealt with the theme from his childhood to 1921, and this book was published in 1927. So I am now going to talk you about the incident that Gandhiji has discussed in this book. When he was 7 years old, so he was put in a primary school, and his nature was very shy. His sole companion at that time was his books, and he had no companions to go to school at the stroke of the hour, means at the nick of the time, at appropriate time he went to school, and as soon as the school closed, he returned from there. This was his daily routine. Once his father bought a book from market, and suddenly Gandhiji's eyes fell on that book. The name of the book was Shravan Pitri Bhakti Natak, a book of drama on Shravan Kumar, a devoted son. And he went through this book with intense care, means great interest. He went through this book, and the picture that was in the book left an undying impression on his life, and he also tried to become just like Shravan Kumar in his future life. And now the another incident, the another book that captured his heart was Harshchandra. This was also a book on drama, and he went through when he went through this book, he questioned himself, why not all the person of the world can become just like Harishchandra? Is it possible? And this was a role model for Gandhiji, because Harishchandra had gone through many ordeals in his life, and for truth, and Gandhiji tried his goal to become just like Harishchandra. Now I am going to tell you about another incident when he was in a school. His headmaster was Dorabji Jimmy. He was a disciplinarian, means lover of discipline, and he made cricket and gymnastics compulsory for a student to play. And Gandhiji had disliked both. He had no interest in gymnastics and cricket. One Saturday, he had to go to play for cricket, and at 4 o'clock in the evening. And at that time, Gandhiji had no watch, and there was cloudy day, and cloud, so the time, so he could not know the time. When he reached school, every student had left the school, left for playing cricket in the school. So Gandhiji, when next day Dorabji Jimmy asked him, why were you absent yesterday? Then Gandhiji told the reason, but Mr. Jimmy didn't believe Gandhiji, and he was convicted of lying. So from what did Gandhiji learn from this incident? He learned that a man of truth must be a man of care. This was the lesson he learned from this incident. Now the another incident, when he went to England and South Africa. So at that time, Gandhiji had in the mind that good handwriting is not the necessary part of education. But when he went to particularly South Africa, he saw the beautiful handwriting of lawyers and other persons. He was very impressed, and later on he tried to improve, but he could not improve, and he knew in South Africa that good handwriting is the sign of perfect education, and bad handwriting is the sign of imperfect education. Later he tried to improve, but he could not. Now I am sharing with you the another incident that Gandhiji had discussed in his book. So once Gandhiji was running into a debt of 25 rupees, and he had taken loan from somewhere, and he had to pay the loan. So there was an armlet, a jewelry that was used. This is a jewelry that is used by boy in the arm. It is worn, and Gandhiji, it was made of solid gold. Gandhiji stole a bit of gold from his brother's armlet and paid the debt. By selling it, he paid the debt. Thus the loan was cleared, but he could not bear it, and he made up his mind to confess, to tell this truth to his father, and because he had no dare to tell it directly, so he made up his mind to write this guilt on a piece of paper, and he also promised that he will never steal in his life, and he went to his father and handed over this confession letter to his father with trembling hand, with shaking hands. And after reading through this confession letter of Gandhiji, Gandhiji's father, tears trickled down on his cheek, and Gandhiji felt that this tears has cleansed his heart, washed his sin away, and Gandhiji told that a real confession, a true confession, is that in which you make a promise never to do that sin again. That is the real repentance, real confession, and this became an object lesson of ahimsa in his later life, and thus Gandhiji was how he became great. So this book is very popular among all the students of the world, and his writings, his thought is even the matter of study all over the world, and in today's world, when the world is when the world is filled with many problems, we can take shelter in the thought of Gandhi and his books like All Men's Are Brothers, the Essentials Gandhi. You can read in your later life, and when there is darkness, this book shows us the path how to go from darkness to enlightenment to light. Now in the another video I will talk with some other topic. Thank you. Have a nice day.